All right. So we're back again, you guys. Back again with this Twin Peaks stream. So I have the chat up on the side. I don't know. It's still early. Nobody's probably in yet. I don't know if anybody's going to show up. I'm going to crack this Dr. Pepper and we're going to get into it. All right. So, sip. This is the problem with little budding channels like mine. It takes a while for people to find the stream, get into the stream, and become a part of the stream. So if you're watching this live, this is sort of set up like a Twitch stream. I have if you leave a comment, it shows up in this area over here. I made it nice and easy for chat messages to show up. So if you're watching this after the fact, you could see what people are saying, what I'm responding to. And down about right here where XLR inputs are, if anybody new subscribes, they'll show up here. It's very much like a Twitch stream, but I feel like YouTube is sort of my home, and I love Twitch, but I can't, I don't know, I can't seem to do anything over there. So we are going to discuss Twin Peaks right now. Twin Peaks: The Return. Also, let me know if this sounds good to you. If I'm peaking, if I'm sounding too crunchy or something, please let me know. I'm still trying to perfect what's going on here. I turn this off. Actually, hopefully this might sound better. I'm not sure. I might have to monitor this. Please let me know if you can hear all right. Doesn't sound too ridiculous to you. Here, that's an Audrey thing. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Eva. It's an Audrey thing, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people we haven't seen yet are definitely gonna show up in the finale. I'm waiting for Ed. Ed was in the promos. You see that clip of him like with his coffee, looking very stern in one of the promo shots they put out, one of the videos they put out. So we haven't seen Ed yet, and I know he's in the show. We've seen the clip. He was on the Comic-Con panel, which is a little weird to be honest. I don't know if anybody else watched the Comic-Con panel, but it seemed a little disconnected. Ed did look sad in the promo. I'm pretty sure it seems like him and Norma didn't. I feel like that didn't work as well as we had all hoped. But it's such a disaster area. I mean, Norma was with Hank, who was terrible, and Ed was with Nadine, who's great, but they just did not. They weren't meant to be. They weren't soulmates and all that jazz. The Secret History of Twin Peaks actually has a fantastic story about Ed and Norma that I really want to reread. I love the way Mark Frost presented that. It's really interesting. I actually have a copy right here. You might see in my other. I did pre-order the final dossier. Super sad. I pre-ordered it during Amazon Prime Day, so I got $5 off. So I pre-ordered it for 15. It was great. Also, I emailed Funko today to see if maybe they want to help out with a new giveaway. Definitely want to give out more stuff, do more giveaways because those are always fun. People get excited. I wish I had the San Diego Comic Con exclusive that they had with Laura and Dale in the Black Lodge. I really want that for myself, but I would love to give that away too. I want to pick up the audiobook, actually. It's cool that they got a lot of the original actors to do their parts in the audiobook. I also want to try the audiobook for The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer. I listened to a bit of it, but I don't know. I feel like I can't do audiobooks. Too much of a purist, maybe, when it comes to books. So I've been thinking a lot about the finale, and I don't know. It's making me a little sad because I don't want this beautiful beautiful show to end again. This time I think it got you know it got its chance. It got its time. I know David Lynch has said previously. I don't know how Ross feels about it. I know David Lynch has said previously that he would do more if there were more story. If he had an idea for something to tell, it feels like the return is just one big story with all the pieces that sort of connect. It seemed there's a unified theory which I finished reading, Catching the Big Fish, David Lynch's book about transcendental meditation and creativity and finding happiness within and creativity within. Go deep down for the creativity. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities, a lot of connections to the ideas presented in that book and ideas presented by transcendental meditation and whatnot. And unified theory, or unified, I believe it's called unified theory, seems to be one of those big themes in that book and something that he likes to sort of talk about, that everything is connected. So, and everything sort of has its own will in a way. The universe has its will, and it's going to play. Everybody's going to play their part in a way, whether they know they're playing a part or not. Not saying that everything is predetermined. It's just that everything is, there is some sort of idea to the way things move and grow and evolve and how lives progress and whatnot. So bringing that back to Twin Peaks, it feels like that's what's happening. We're getting all these little glimpses. I mean, that's what a show is. But I mean, life is a lot like TV. uh, but it seems like there is sort of a focus. I know it doesn't seem like it because it's Twin Peaks, and it wouldn't be Twin Peaks if it had an obvious focus or an obvious trajectory or something it was obviously trying to tell, or some sort of philosophy. It has so many things. So many things. It's everything at once. It's very simple and it's very complex at the same time. So I think everybody's stories are going to come together. I really do. I think everybody's in the next 6 episodes. I don't know how the hell they're going to do it. Maybe they won't even all come together in the show. Maybe they'll come together in the final dossier, which I wonder if it's going to be told by Tammy. You think the timelines aren't synced and Dougie Coop is in the past? I see. I was thinking about this. I don't know if the timelines in the show, like in the universe, are out of sync, or if the way they're choosing to tell the story is out of sync. Because the thing that makes me think that they're, anytime we go back to other characters, it seems like it's everybody sort of catching up to each other. One storyline goes a little bit further ahead, and then they use like maybe the next episode or 2 episodes away to catch up with that storyline. Like we saw with the Mitchum brothers. Uh, they saw that the story about Dougie and Ike the Spike. And I just, and they saw that news story that we saw them film, like when Dougie or Cooper actually karate chopped Ike the Spike. And so I think it is a linear timeline. I do think it is a linear timeline. It's just being presented in a way that seems like it's very cut up. Roy says, part of me thinks there's going to be a final showdown in Twin Peaks over the control of the lodges, but then I wonder if that's too predictable. See, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be, I don't know. See, I don't know if it's going to be like that. I feel like Bob is just the bad guy. Definitely just, he's sort of the, that's it. He's the person everybody's trying to get rid of, I guess. So I don't know if there's going to be like a showdown between the lodges. Yeah, I don't even know if have we seen the Black Lodge, or is that just a waiting room? I'm perpetually confused by that. They call it the waiting room, Black Lodge. I don't know, but I don't know if there's going to be a showdown. Uh, My impression is that Bob and the Woodsmen corrupted the Black Lodge. It's possible. Maybe the Black Lodge is the White Lodge, just super corrupted. I never thought about that until now, but maybe that's what it is. It's burnt. It's like it's black fire. Maybe that's what that means. It's fire's this like sort of vibrant, energetic thing, and just it's sullied. So maybe the White Lodge and the Black Lodge are one and the same, but possibly the Black Lodge is just the corrupted White Lodge. The shooting script for the second season finale described the Black Lodge as a black and white version of the Great Northern. I've heard that too. Really interesting. I wonder if they're keeping with that idea. I don't know how canon it is. Canon is because they're not. I mean, it wasn't presented in the show, but I'm sure they might stick with that. Like the Black Lodge is seeping into the real world, and that evil's corrupting the youth of Twin Peaks. This is possible. I feel like there are tears in the fabric of reality everywhere. As we know from the secret history of Twin Peaks, that seemed to have ripped open something in Twin Peaks. There's a lot of trauma there, and what we saw with the atom bomb, which is probably one of the biggest traumas to ever sort of happen to the planet. It ripped open this immense hole in our universe, and it's allowing all this evil and darkness to seep in. So the Black Lodge is just, I guess, the gateway that, you know. But the thing is, the Black Lodge, I believe, existed before the atom bomb. But going back even further, there's always been trauma, especially in the United States and in the Northwest, when the native land was being torn from the people and taken over, and there just so much evil happened here. So that could have been the thing that tore open the fabric to give way for the Black Lodge. And then, we saw with the Giant that there is always sort of something to balance that out. One thing can't have reign over everything. And I think the problem right now is that, at least from hearing David Lynch's perspective on the world, I'm assuming he's sort of integrating that into his storytelling. He's seeing the world as in a very grave place. So that's why we're seeing a lot more of other places where there's been trauma and, evil seeping in. So I think the story of Twin Peaks: The Return is evil is winning a little bit, but there are people in place that are seeking to level it out or try to push forward for the good. I think there is a little bit of, optimism. So a theory that Bob was on trial about the convenience store and Fire Walk with Me so that he didn't mess. Yeah, I mean, he was. Mike is pissed off at Bob. Mike doesn't want. He knows Bob is screwing everything up. He wanted that all the way back in the Fire Walk with Me era. So Bob he's just this reckless evil. He has no rules. He just wants it to be one-sided, which is could be destroying existence, possibly. I mean, that might be a little extreme, but it seems like he's just corrupting a lot of powerful people. He's getting a lot of money, and money, absolute power corrupts absolutely, kind of thing. So money, we know in our world, is power. So he's getting money, and he's putting his pieces in place to, be absolutely powerful, just have everything his way, whatever he wants. So Bob is forced to be reckoned with, and returned to the Black Lodge. See, the thing is, I don't know if Bob is still in Evil Cooper, or if the Woodsman took him out. I don't really completely get what that is. Yeah, I think I just answered your question. I don't know. I don't know if they took him out, like sort of like a nod to the audience, or if they're like holding on to him somewhere, or I really don't know where Bob is. I don't know if he's still in Evil Cooper. I'm kind of confused. Yeah, Lynch abandoned most of that script. Yeah, I heard that too. So they might have scrapped it. I think the secret history of Twin Peaks sort of tried to fill in a lot of the things that we might or dismiss a lot of the things we might have seen in older scripts. So I don't know. Adam, see the I think what tears open the fabric is just like immense evil or immense trauma. Uh, it's everywhere. So we could have tears in the fabric of reality all over the world. It would be interesting to see just even pan back even further. I know we're panning back from Twin Peaks, but and now we're spending a lot of time in South Dakota, and there's some time in New York. Pan back even further, take a look at places like Paris or Rome or just places like where there's been this crazy terror, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see all the madness that's over there. It's probably not just here. Hey, what more? I want Judy. I think we'll get Judy. Maybe see if Bowie shows up. I don't think the White Lodge is the Purple Sea. I don't think that's a lodge. I don't think that's a lodge. Uh, I think that's something else. That might be the zone. No, the zone. I think is. I think it's. I think it's evil. I don't know. The woodsmen were in the zone, so I don't know what that Purple Sea thing is. The White Lodge is the White Lodge there. Is the White Lodge there for balance? Is it to balance the Black Lodge? Because that seemed like a very balance. Like I'm gonna balance this thing when he put Laura out there and sort of enacted the whole chain of events that would eventually cause Dale Cooper to come to Twin Peaks and sort of more people be aware, I guess, of this sort of supernatural evil. I don't know if that's the White Lodge. I really don't. Judy. We haven't heard Judy. We haven't really heard too much about Judy since I don't know, maybe the beginning. Why was Cooper there? Who was that woman and her mother? Uh, I think Cooper somehow ended up in the past. I think that whole uh, purple thing was in the past, possibly. I'm really at a loss. I really don't know. I think, I think it's something else, but I'm not sure. I think the assumption was that the giant was the spirit of the White Lodge, so seeing him residing there led a lot of people to conclusion that it is the White Lodge. See, I don't think the giant is part of anything. I think maybe he's sort of. I think he's a fireman. I know in the soundtrack there was a name for the song that came on during that scene where he gives birth to the idea of Laura Palmer, and that track is called the Fireman. So I think he's there to put out the fire. I don't think he's the antithesis or the White Lodge. I don't think that's what that was. I think they're there to put a balance, because what if the White Lodge gets out of hand? It's all about balance, man. I really do. I think that's what it is. Maybe Judy left Jeffries the translator box in Buenos Aires. Hmm. You know what I'm starting to think? Maybe Laura Palmer, Judy. Maybe Laura Palmer, ganger. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like Judy's gonna be a big shock if they show her, and they showed Diane, so I'm thinking they're probably gonna show Judy. Oh, I miss Matthew Lillard. Oh, that was great. I really wish he hadn't crushed his skull. I wanted to see more of him. He needs to do more serious stuff. He seemed a little bit down about it that everybody just knew him from Scooby Doo, which whatever. A lot of us were kids when that movie came out. It's part of our childhood. Of course, we're gonna connect him with Scooby Doo. Maybe the White Lodge is where Laura was created. I don't think so. I think the idea of Laura was conceived by the giant, and he put that out into the world. I don't know if it went directly to Sarah Palmer. And then is there a problem with the little girl that has the frog fly thing in her body? So many questions. Maybe what was Bob looking for? Way into the lodge to corrupt as well. Possibly. I think the only way he can really take full power is if he knows there is no opposition. And the White Lodge would obviously be his opposition, but I don't know if he's anticipating something else, which is what the fireman is or the giant is. Because I don't know. I don't know what he knows. I think maybe maybe he just knows about the White Lodge and he thinks, taking out the White Lodge is the only way to, get a full grasp of it. And why was he doing that experiment? What was that about? What was he trying to capture? We haven't seen anything or heard anything about that creature since that first episode. We know it destroyed the two kids. Well, what is that about? Is he trying to capture that creature? Is he trying to capture something else? I wonder. I'm starting to think about the box again. What was the box about? I really want to know. I mean, yep, he's dead. That was the best part about that scene. I didn't expect to be a little. Are we friends? Of course we're friends. Jeez. Why is Diane in contact with Greasy Coop? Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe I want to say everybody has a doppelganger. Everybody's doppelganger's on the loose, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe Diane. Maybe that is Diane's doppelganger. Uh, it's maybe he took the original Diane to the Black Lodge and was like, "Get in here." But then again, that doesn't make any sense. Forget that because Cooper would have seen her in there. Uh, I don't know. Diane is colluding for some reason. Maybe he promised her something. Who's with Evil C and Fox? I don't. Was it the Dalai Lama? Uh, that would be super interesting if that was the Dalai Lama. If I can bring it up real quick. I have Showtime anytime on my because I'm obsessed and crazy, so I could just bring that up. I don't remember what episode that was. That episode 10. Diane has gone rogue and it's trying to give a coup herself. For her, it's personal. This is probably true. That might be true. She might not be colluding with him. I don't know. There's nothing to really suggest except the text message that they're, in cahoots with each other. And I don't think that's even what that expressed. The talk around the dinner table is lively or something. I don't remember exactly verbatim what it was. I suspect the words he texted to Diane are an incantation, like the one the woodsman used to put the town to sleep. Maybe under his influence. Oh, I didn't think of that. She might be working for Philip Jeffries, but maybe it's a horse is the white of the eyes kind of thing, where everybody just sort of knocked out after he said it. Huh? It's interesting. I like that. I feel like maybe that's what it is. This is the water, and this is the well. Drink full and descend. The horse is the white of the eyes, dark within. It is the Dalai Lama. You just saw the Dalai Lama. That's cool. I mean, I don't know if the voice. I think. I don't know. Danielle, yeah, I caught that too. There's one in lowercase and one in all caps, unless that was just like a filming mistake. But again, I don't think so. Anything that is, I've read something about Lynch that anything you see up close is very intentional. So I think maybe she's working with the dude that is behind the desk. I forget his name. That has the young teenager assistant. I think I remember hearing. I remember the beginning of the season. Uh, Evil Cooper asks about something about hiring her or something like that. So I think maybe he's the middleman to her. I think Evil Cooper was texting the dude behind the desk and Mr. Todd. Yes, that's right, Mr. Todd. Easy. And then that guy texted her the same thing. So I think that's what's happening. I don't think she has any direct contact with Cooper, but I think they are. Maybe it's like maybe Cooper. I don't know. Maybe Cooper doesn't want her to be working for him directly. Maybe she doesn't know she's working for him. Maybe she thinks it's somebody that's there to help her. I really don't know. Diane mouthed the word now to the woodsman. See, I looked back at that and I wasn't sure her mouth is so small. Actually, I was watching it on my phone, so that's probably why I couldn't tell. David Lynch would be very mad with me if I told him I was watching it on my and my TV screen is kind of small while I'm watching it, so uh yeah. See, he does focus on things that seem random, but everything turns out to be intentional. It seems to be, yeah, for reference exactly. Uh, Albert said the text came from Mexico. Yeah, I believe so in Mexico. I don't. Where is the building that Mr. Todd is in? Is it? I for some reason I thought Vegas, but I might be wrong. Well, no, it has to be Vegas because he did the whole thing with the dude from the insurance company for the Mitchum brothers. So yeah, he's in Vegas, but maybe Jeffries is in Mexico. He seems to have a lot of South America behind him. I don't know. I do think he was. I think Mr. Todd is the one that's talking to Diane because he also has a phone. The lady that was that Ike the Spike killed had a phone, so I don't know how she was in connection with them. The lady that had the weird thing in her wall. It's all very weird. There's some things I feel like we'll never get an explanation for, but we're gonna have to live with that. How great is the how great is it that Mark Frost confirmed that Carl Rod was an original Bookhouse boy on Twitter yesterday? I mean, yep. Mark Frost has so many powers, but I believe it. It seems like Carl was he used to live in Twin Peaks, maybe moved out because something happened. I don't remember much mention of Fat Trout Trailer Park in Secret History of Twin Peaks. Maybe we'll get more info on him in the other book or by the time the series ends. They're not doing too much exposition and sort of origins on anybody really this season. It's all pushing forward. Not much background. There's also a theory around that Canny's a lag timeline like Dougie, but is further along. I heard that. I heard the theory that she might be. What is it? What was I gonna say? She might be possessed by somebody. Annie. Somebody said that she might be possessed by Annie. I can't see that happening. Uh, I wish I mean, all three of those girls kind of seem, in a daze. So I really don't get what their deal is. She seems just so far off, but she is somewhere else. She's like daydreaming. I think that's what it is, daydreaming. And she's probably seeing things in her daydream. And you know how Lynch loves dreams. She's probably having weird visions through time in a daydream and is not able to correlate it with her reality. I don't know. That's just a weird theory I have right now. We were going back to the box, starting to think Dougie isn't Coop as well. I think we're gonna. I hope we find out more about the box. What is he trying to catch there? It's his net. I don't. Dougie isn't Coop. Oh, well, I don't know. See, I think it is Coop because he has signs of Coop, like damn fine when he ate the pie, and the coffee, being obsessed with coffee. I think those are the things that are telling us this is Dale Cooper. Don't forget, he loves pie, he loves coffee, but it's like these very, surface things, these very superficial things that is Dale. So there's no depth there. Just all these the food. And it's cute, it's funny. I like it, but I think it's just, very surface Cooper. It's not the whole package. Go Mark Frost brings the intel to Twitter. Follow Mark Frost. He's fantastic. He rails on the president every day, and then also gives us fun Twin Peaks golden nuggets. Secret History did mention that Carl was kidnapped, maybe into the lodge. That's right. That's right, Troy. Totally forgot about that. That makes complete sense. Maybe he just decided to get away. That would also explain why he when the little boy got hit, he saw the gold soul or what have you energy fly up into the sky. Which that scene always gets me because it looks like maybe it like stops at the power lines, but then it goes a little higher. So I guess he ascended to wherever. One of the boys playing catch in episode 3, his last name was Frost. Mark's son, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what Mark's family history is like. He has a son. Why did Palmer the Younger hide that scum squeeze? What? Oh, you mean Palmer? I don't think you got. I'm talking about. It's all of them. All three of them seem pretty space. I do think it's daydreaming. I think that's what that is. They're daydreaming, and you know how dreams work in Twin Peaks. We've anytime we've experienced dreams in Twin Peaks, even with sleeping people that are asleep, they have the dream, and then maybe they're awake. It's all weird, but he hasn't really experimented with daydreaming, which that seems like what they're doing. That's Hayward. That's not Palmer. That's Donna's sister or cousin. That's with Steven. Not sure what they're doing. She should just go play the piano and be cute. Dougie is gone. Dale is, yeah. I do think that's Dale, although we're just getting surface Dale. Very, very bits and pieces. And I think that the thing that told us for sure that that was Dale was the end of the last episode when that new Angelo Badalamenti song came on the piano and he just was in. So that's Dale. We just need him to wake up. Wake up. Like Mike says, wake up. Carl, Dick Tremaine, and Margaret were abducted at the. I forgot Dick Tremaine was there too. I really need to go back and reread or download the audiobook for Secret History of Twin Peaks. I'm missing so much. I read it late at night, so a lot of things just didn't stick. So I definitely need to reread it, probably very soon. Did Becky have an affair with Richard, and that's why Steve is mad? Um, Possibly. It seemed like that episode where he's like over her yelling at her seemed like he said, I believe he said something like I know. So I think he does, you know, I think he does know. I think she did do something too. I don't think either of them is innocent. But Tremaine had, uh I guess this is true too. I mean, I don't know. It was a school trip, I believe, right? That they went into the forest and they were all taken and they get the marks. I wish Shelly's so weird. I don't know. That scene messed me up because I thought it seems like Shelly hasn't grown up at all. She's still chasing the bad boy. I think that's just her thing. I think that's what they're trying to tell us. Shelly just has a thing for the bad boy until it gets too grave, too much, and then she freaks out. She's no more a kid than, Becky. think Red put a spell on Shelley is the idea she was not behaving normally, or even for Shelley. I think since it seems like we're getting into a little bit of magic here. I don't think that there's any. I think that's totally plausible, especially with this uh, incantations, like they said before. I feel like this is a real thing that's happening on the show now. I don't know if we ever saw it in the original series. If it'd be interesting to go back and see if there's any weird sayings that cause any effects on people. Just you. Um, but it's interesting. I think Red is definitely pulling some stuff. Maybe has sort of adapted the magic or the strangeness of the woodsmen or wherever their powers derive from. I'm guessing. I don't think it's the Black Lodge. It might be the Zone, whatever that is. Because when Gordon looks into that black hole wormhole thing, he sees them on the stairs in Laura Palmer's house. This is true. Fire walk with me. Duh. Duh. uh, so I guess, yeah. You know what? You're right. Fire walk with me is probably the incantation. Interesting. Red Renault. That would be super funny if he was a Renault. That family needs to be real. Good. Sounds like a good reason to rewatch seasons 1 and 2. It's always a good time to rewatch seasons 1 and 2. I think I do it probably once every 2 months. The lodge spirits seem to use words like magicians. You know, you're blowing my mind right now because this all stuff has slipped through my brain. But I think we're actually seeing the magicians long to see. Magicians long to see. Chance between two worlds. Interesting. As a Canadian, I apologize for the Renault. Oh, it's okay. We forgive you. You guys have blanking on it. You guys have a good dude in charge of your country right now, so forgiven. But yeah, this magician thing. I didn't really think about this. This is super interesting. Magician long to see. And they do say magicians. So there are people that maybe. Now this is getting me thinking a little bit. Seems like I wonder how much magic has played a part in Twin Peaks as far as we've seen it so far. I never really thought too deeply into the magician thing, but now that we're seeing people that have seeing the whole horses the white of the eyes thing, and now Red just sort of playing magic tricks, maybe he's the magician. Magician long. I wonder if this is the magician. Yes, watch Mulholland Drive. I have it on Blu-ray. It's fantastic. Get it, get it. A little pricey because the Criterion collection is anything that comes out on Criterion is always expensive. Which they're actually re-releasing Fire Walk with Me soon in 4K, remastered soundtrack and everything. Uh, overseen by David Lynch, which is really cool. So I might pick that up, even though I already own Fire Walk with Me because I'm a sucker. It was that kid who did magic tricks and he was spirit. Right, the kid that was the kid with the mask. See, Troy, you should be running this show. You have a little bit more. You have a little bit better memory about these things than I do. A little bit more pause. Where's my jumping man? Maybe that is the jumping man. Maybe the jumping man is inhabiting, right? Or the kid is inhabiting. Maybe it's Tremont. Or David Lynch's son, uh, Ray, I believe. Troy? Junior, yeah, Troy. Okay. I couldn't remember his actual name. In the series, Troy in the series, different actor in Firewalk with Me. Yep. This is true. It might be him all grown up. Outside, maybe Bob went and pulled him out or something. Cooper went and pulled him out of wherever he is or found him. I don't know. But this is starting to open up a whole new realm that I haven't really thought of. I haven't thought of the magic component in Firewalk and in Twin Peaks. I really haven't, to be honest. I feel silly, but this is super cool. uh, magic. So yeah, the Firewalk with me phrase, this whole new horses the white of the eyes, and whatever. This is nuts, guys. I love it. Thank you guys for watching, by the way. Appreciate you being here and dropping nuggets of knowledge and wisdom and interesting stuff on my door. It's cool. Love the subtle explanation for Garmonbosia. Super interesting. Sort of. Sort of. Well, yeah, Blackfire, Tainted Corn, Garmonbosia. I thought so. I thought the magician longs to see what I saw the eyeless. You know? Possibly. I wonder what she was. I wonder if she's okay. You know, I'm guessing not, since she fell into the endless abyss of the universe, space, wherever the hell they were. What was that room? Because what the hell is that? Just like sort of a conduit kind of thing? I don't know. That's a question I've had. That weird metallic matchbox thing. I don't. What if the year is 2017 and all this happens near future? See, I don't know. I don't know what year this is taking place in. I want to say 2016, because I feel like this is all taking place before Tammy writes the dossier. Because she doesn't know anything about either that, or she's writing the dossier in line with the show. She's writing it as the show's going. But again, she's been on the road with Gordon and Albert and Diane, so I don't see where she would have the time. Eyeless woman was magician longs to see one way out between two worlds. Magician longs to. Very interesting. Very interesting. One way out between. Magician see one way between two worlds. I'm a little stunned, because that seems like exactly what that was. She can't see. She knows the portal between two worlds is there. Huh. Chance out between two worlds. One chance out between two worlds. Sorry, excuse me. Still chance out between two worlds. I mean, we didn't really know what she was saying. There was nobody really saying anything except my mother's coming. So you better hurry, my mother's coming. Still don't know what that was about. Who's the mother? That's what I want to know. I saw a theory that the eyeless woman was in a different time, and that's why her appearance and sound so choppy. I think time is so fluid on this show. It is definitely non-linear. Obviously, that whole sequence was non-linear because it was going back and forth. Like, it just time was linear. Time didn't exist wherever they were. At least at that point, is when she switches the handle. All of a sudden, it was sort of like they were in the Black Lodge, because the woman that said my mother's coming was doing the reverse speak. So that's super interesting how that switch changed sort of the landscape. Chance out between two worlds. Mother of all others. Annette was after the eyeless woman. After the eyeless woman. Can you share a little bit more? Can you share a little bit more on that? I don't remember. It was after the eyeless woman. I'm missing some stuff. I think I might really have to rewatch season 1 and 2. And I've watched the movie so many times recently. I might have to rewatch season 1 and 2 and reread The Secret History of Twin Peaks and see what I could find. the mother of all others yet. I'm starting to think it's not aliens. No, aliens is too small a word. It's too simple an idea, I think. It seems like whatever that thing that Hawk sees, the little black thing with the ears, which I guess could be a jackrabbit, which is why Bobby, when he was younger, called it Jackrabbit's Palace. Possibly. That's why he called it that, because he might have seen that symbol there or something. But that's not what it is. It seems to be the mother of all others, the ultimate evil, spewing disaster monster. But have we decided the mother is the same as the experiment? I want to say yes. The thing with the mother that would tell that is it has the backwards arm. When it's spewing, you see the arms are sort of backwards. My arms bend back. Um, so I'd be. She banged on the ballroom. She finished off salmon tracing, barfed out all the eggs. Hmm. Interesting. See, I don't. Is she? For some reason, I feel like the mother of all others is out the realm of reality. But I guess maybe nothing is. I guess it's all relative. A figurehead for the Black Lodge. I mean, if it spews absolute evil, if that's what it does, I guess maybe it is sort of the ultimate Black Lodge creature. That is the ultimate evil. It is the creator of evil. So there has to be sort of anti that. Uh, and then we have whatever else the firemen, fire people that are there to even things out when things get too one sided. Because there's always going to be both. I think that's what Lynch is trying to tell us. The mother might be born of the atom bomb. That might have been the shell of evil that cracked and gave birth to the mother of all other evils, or Babylon. Yes, actually, I do remember that. I've read about this too. It seems very very much like that too. There's a lot of things you could take and sort of call it that, but that seems what it's like. The horror Babylon. And Coop across time. He got distracted by all the screaming from Tracy, but it was still pretty hard. Uh, this is possible. I don't. It didn't seem to be interested in what was happening, and then maybe it just got triggered. I don't know. I don't see why it would smash out of the thing and rip into shreds. I don't think it would be interested in doing that. If Laura is the emergency response to Bob, is there a third entity? Cooper. But I think Cooper is more of the Earth. Laura seems to be celestial. I think Cooper is a beacon. I think the last episode kind of showed us that Cooper is a beacon. He's not even himself. He's not even the full, he's not even fully cognizant, and he's changing lives and helping people and doing good unintentionally and with the help of Mike, who's a Black Lodge dweller. And I mean, we saw Mr. Jackpot's lady just over the moon and so grateful for Cooper. And the Mitchum brothers, even though they're probably scoundrels, they were super happy. So he's helping everybody without even knowing it. I think it's just who he is. So I think that's super interesting. That Cooper's just inherently good at the core, and he's just a beacon, and he brings, he helps people. So I think Cooper's very of the earth, and I think Laura is of celestial origin. Maybe Cooper's from the Black Lodge. I'm not sure. The part I least understood about Secret History was Lilith Ishtar reference, though it might relate to the mother. I think it's like you think in all religions, everything sort of has things that are similar in each sort of religion, and I think they're all what they're doing is making sort of an ultimate version or the I'm not too sure, but I feel like they're trying to make it all these things that all these things are correct, and it's this maybe not totally understood or described as it is in those that history and religion, but I think that's what mother of all others or Babylon is supposed to be. But that evil existed in Twin Peaks long before he was brought there. Bob aegis and ever vigilant, protecting. See, I don't know if Bob was always there. Uh, but again, the atom bomb scene happened. I'm not sure if Bob was presented before that. They want to make it seem like that happened as the atom bomb went off. Uh, not sure. Briggs had a vision where he was raised at the Plaza, the Giant. Huh. I don't remember that one. Interesting. Raised Plaza of the Giant. Lynch into Jung. Bob, or ego. Possibly. I feel like everything is on the table with this. If it's not Lynch, it's definitely Mark Frost. So definitely Mark Frost. Would Bob be super ego? I'm sorry. I'm gonna cover it up. Cover it up. It's just two ports. It's okay. Didn't Leland say Bob was the one who? He said it was his neighbor. I mean, Bob would have been there. Bob would have been there at that time. But yeah, I think it was Bob. It was by his lake house, by lake whatever. I don't remember exactly, but it was a Bob or Robert something. Robert something. It's cool that in Gordon's vision of the woodsman, the stairs, there's a splash of something on the wall that looks like the nuclear explosion. Yeah, I saw that. That's really cool. Really cool. Uh, and also that seems to be the place in the picture that Mrs. Tremond gives Laura Palmer in Fire Walk with Me. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. Leland was 12 in 1956. Yeah, see, he was around. Bob was already here. If Bob came into during the atom bomb explosion, so that could have already happened. The thing I'm curious about is why Bob went to Twin Peaks of all places. Why Twin Peaks? He could have gone anywhere. That's the thing I want to know. But again, I'm not sure if that's relevant. It seems like Bob went all over. Who knows who he inhabited before that? If anybody, or if he was a wandering spirit, if he was just in the Black Lodge contemplating. Is Bob the bug? I don't know. What was that bug? Is that just a bug? I know there's a thing in the guide to Twin Peaks, the old guide book that they put out when the show was out originally, that has something about a frog with wings. I don't have this book. I haven't read it, but I'm super interested to get my hands on it. I think I might pick it up if I could find one. Gordon's vision of the woodsman in the stairs has some of the wallpaper in the room. The picture of this. Yeah, I know. That was like one of the first things I had to be TP Lewis and Clark. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not. I wonder why Twin Peaks of all places. Seems like Twin Peaks is a beacon for spiritual energies. There's some mythologies that like structures harnessing power specifically rock. I mean, there. It seemed like Twin Peaks is definitely a beacon because I mean we have the UFOs that we were all throughout the freaking book. There are hot spots for sure. I guess for the show, and for the mythology, Twin Peaks is one of those places. But it's sort of, I guess, because it's sort of outside of time, especially in the '90s when the original show came out. Just this pure place with just all this deep history, like just so much rich history in this little town, an hour outside of Seattle. It's pretty great. I love just the idea of Twin Peaks is just so fully. It seems so fully realized even before we got all this background, which is really cool. Uh, I really need to reread Secret History of Twin Peaks. Maybe the most important question of all, who or what took Jerry's foot? uh, Old age, diabetes, I don't know. Rocks harnessing power, maybe Owl Cave will become more important. Call rocks harnessing power, maybe Owl Cave will become more important. I think a lot of what we see in Red and Secret History of Twin Peaks is definitely coming around. It sounded like the arm. It did sound like the mini version of the arm. Especially when he says, rip his arm off. It sounded like the I think Jerry's going to stumble onto something accidentally. I would love to see Jerry just fall into the Black Lodge, which I think might happen. It might be really funny. Something might weird. I don't know. You guys see the coordinates are for Belzar Mountain in Washington, King of Babylon. I couldn't. I never actually figured out what the coordinates were for. So thank you, Tachyon. But that's super interesting. Super interesting. We're getting into the beginning. We're getting into the very beginning. We're going all the way back here in Twin Peaks. Uh, maybe Koopa's going to confront, King of Babylon. Maybe that's where he thinks he's going to get his ultimate power. Seems like that's what he wants. He just wants to have power, to be in control, not go back to Lodge. He wants to maybe destroy the Lodge. He destroys it, and what does he have to go back to? Nothing. So he's looking for the ultimate power on Earth. I mean, it's interesting because if he's a celestial spirit, as far as we know, he could go anywhere. But why Earth? Why? It's so crazy. Um, this is all this like has Mark. That dude knows his stuff. Hawk needs to know about the 315 key. I wonder if Ben ever brought it to the police and sort of brought it to their attention. To run, glad to finally catch a live chat. Thank you, Troy. Thanks for watching. You've been awesome. Thanks. So we're almost at an hour ago. I don't know if you guys want to keep going with this because this is pretty great. About I'm gonna have to do a deep dive into some history, see maybe what else I could find, because Mark Frost is a history nut. He definitely knows his stuff, and he's definitely super into supernatural, occult, all that stuff. So if you do a deep dive, I'm sure you'll find something that might be relevant in a couple episodes. I think we thought episode 8 was crazy. I think it's about to get real insane. I hope. I don't know. I think the finale is going to be more than what we could have ever expected. I believe they're going to present it as 2-hour thing. That's going to be interesting. I'm not sure how much is going to get wrapped up. Kyle McLaughlin said they're probably going to get. It's probably going to. A lot of it's going to wrap up and make sense. That's why I think it's this whole unified theory thing. I think everything is working towards this ultimate goal, essentially. I think the key is the key. I also feel like Cooper will be the one to bring balance to Twin Peaks. I almost feel like he's going to bring down all the weirdness, perhaps to a standstill. I think Cooper is going to be very important. And obviously, it's called The Return. We're returning to Twin Peaks. We haven't spent too much time there. But I think a lot of it is Cooper's story. I think Laura is the one, but it's possible that they're wrong. It might be Cooper, and I mean, you want to believe like these celestial beings know more. We want to believe the log knows better, but I think Cooper's the one. I think they're both. I think maybe there was more than one. I want to believe. I want to believe. Yeah, this is a huge project. It took them, I guess, 2 years. They started working on it. And, I mean, it was announced 2014. I believe they started working for real on it in 2015 and 2016. It's out this year. So if we are going to see it again, we probably won't see it until 2020 if they do another one. I mean, there's going to be, it's called The Final Dossier, the book that's coming out. But again, never say never. Cooper also performs magic, but only once. Again, which time? Cooper's in touch for sure, but I don't know where his powers lie. Hmm. With the bottle. No- Oh yes, okay. That's what I figured. I mean, again, I think he does pull from the earth. I think his power is earthbound. I think I don't know. I want to. I want to. If Cooper just feels like very much like an earth element. The spirits. I think some are from the. I think some are very earthbound. I think some are probably they probably came here. I think it's a battle as big as the universe happening right now. I'm trying to think of when he did magic as well. I mean, you could chalk it up to magic, or you could chalk it up to a good wrist. Yeah, but again, I think Cooper is definitely in touch with some sort of thing. I wonder what happened to Cooper previously. Maybe it was his time uh, abroad that made him in touch with this. I still haven't read his book, his full tapes. I'm sure there's something in there that tells us. If somebody has read the tapes, the book, the autobiography, not just listen to the tapes because that was kind of disappointing. If somebody's read the autobiography, I'd love to know more. All I could think of his bad penguin joke. That was good. The Sky Ferreira played with. Apparently, I don't remember this, but apparently they've unleashed some sort of weird drug into the Twin Peaks atmosphere. Cooper's mom was touched by Bob. Really? Did they talk about that in the book? Because if he's that connected with Bob, then it disproves that everything is very much connected. Again, unified theory, just like Lynch talks about in his catching the big fish. Everything's connected. Everything has a goal ultimately, whatever that is, and it's not always plain. Also, Dr. Pepper has unicorn for some reason, but they talk about Cooper's mom being touched by Bob in the book. Tachyon. I haven't read the whole thing. I have to finish it. So, guys, I don't know. I think maybe in the book he is. Not in the Secret History of Twin Peaks, and maybe in the autobiography book. I haven't read it. The Ring. That's right, The Ring. See, Tachyon, I haven't read the book. I need to read the book, but I don't. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. All right, guys, it's been an hour. I could talk about this all day. Maybe we'll do another one this week, maybe before the episode airs, if I can manage it. I don't. Maybe not. Maybe Monday. Wetmore, if you want to join, please let me know. We'll get you on the hot seat. You need to get Cooper's Tapes book. Is that where we learn about Poster and young Coop's room, which parallels with the cowboy statue in Vegas? Yes. Yeah. I know that much. And I've read some of it. You could find the PDF online. I wish I could get a physical copy, but they're astronomically high priced. I don't really feel like paying $70 for a paperback. But there is a PDF online. If you just search for it in Google, it's like one of the first things that come up. I might just print it out and make my own book. Because what the hell not? I wish they'll re-release it though. Game for tomorrow. If you are on Monday, maybe we'll do another stream tomorrow. I don't know what everybody's schedule here is like. This is good to riff. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be interested into hearing what we talk about after the fact when this goes live. So thank you for everybody that contributed. Thank you, Tachyon, for all the info. Thank you, Eva. I'm sorry, I don't know which way you go with that. Yeah, definitely search for the PDF. But this is cool. It's good. This is like a weird therapy theorizing session, talking history. I think I'm gonna read a little bit of the secret history and see what I could dig up. Maybe I'll start reading the tapes book. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're not sub, which I think most of you guys are, so most of you guys in the chat now. So thanks for watching. I shall maybe catch you guys tomorrow. Not tomorrow, maybe Monday. All right. See you soon.